Welcome to Writers Week 21. We're 21 years of it. Real quick, we just need to talk about 3 quick things before we get going with our first presenter today. Number 1, if you could please take out your cell phones and iPads, please turn them off because it can interfere with the mics, and we don't want that, especially with our performer today, who is awesome. So go ahead and turn those off while we're at it. Thank you. Number 2, we have a bunch of people to thank. We want to thank the boosters for giving us money to help continue this year in and year out. Go ahead and turn to your teacher that brought you here. Give them a smile and a wave. Maybe a clap or 2. Hello. Hi. You're welcome. Those are the 3 things, I think. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. It's pretty fitting that our first presenter today to open up Writers Week is Mary Fonz, because she is somebody that absolutely loves Fremd High School and loves the students here. We interviewed her for the newspaper, and this is a quote that she gave us. She said, "I freaking love Writers Week at Fremd. It's seriously a highlight of my entire year. Seriously, I love you guys." So that's a pretty accurate depiction of the type of person that Mary Fonz is. Mary Fonz is a writer who grew up under a quilt. In 2010, Mary created Quilty, a weekly online program for the beginner quilter. In 2011, Quilty became a bi-monthly magazine available nationwide at bookstores, quilt shops, and via auto ship and digital subscription at fonzandporter.com. Mary co-hosts Love of Quilting on public television. She lectures and leads workshops on quilting and poetry, and her first book, Make and Love Quilts, Scrap Quilts for the 21st Century, was published by C&T Stash Books in June of 2014. Paper Girl, Mary's blog is updated at least 5 times a week and can be found by going to maryfonz.com. She holds a BA in Theater Arts from the University of Iowa and is currently pursuing her graduate degree at the University of Chicago. You will enjoy this performance immensely. Let's give it up for Mary Fonz, please.
We sped down LSD that day, the train giving way to a taxi drive. Me and my luggage were whisked away about 4:45. Through grimy windows, my eyes did see steel and glass buildings standing so tall. Chicago's a hard and imposing city. Its heart is pure. What have I done to my favoriteest lover? Leaving like this, my purse grabbed in haste, off to new visions and a new city's cover. What a waste. For mercy and grace, I shall grovel and beg, come June when the weather is fair. Lash at my back and the back of my leg. It's proof you care. That's how I write poems. How I write most things. Hello?
While we're getting started, putting up a microphone without a podium, if you can. I forgot to ask for that. If it's possible, great. If it's not, no big deal. Maybe one of those, but I feel trapped. I feel trapped behind this thing. Let me out. Thank you for having me. Thank you to all the teachers and everybody and the boosters and everything that brought me here. So, we have so much to do. We have to get started. So I live in Washington, D.C. right now. I am running for president. No, I'm not really running for president. Thank you. And then maybe, yes, I do. So I live in Washington, D.C. right now, and that poem was about the hugest mistake, which was leaving Chicago. So what happened was that I fell in love. That always happens to me. I think every year I come here and I'm like, I have a new boyfriend. Okay, so who was here last year? Do you remember the guy I called? And he spoke Russian? He says, oh yeah, well, it's over. It's totally over. It was so fabulous. I called him on the cell phone, and he spoke Russian. It was very sexy, you know, 'cause he was very sexy. And he was 26, and I'm 35, so it was like, nice. But anyway, I was like, you have abs. Not that I saw them, but anyway. So he, you know, was amazing. And so I can work from anywhere because I'm a freelancer. And I always try to tell you that if you want to be a writer, you got to hustle really hard, but you can do it. And you can be a freelancer. You know, you don't have to have a job that you go to every day. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to freelance, you can make it happen. And so I freelance, and so I can go anywhere, and I work from anywhere. And as long as I have a computer, you know, I can do that. And so Yuri, the beautiful Russian, he got a job in New York. He's in Bitcoin. Do you guys know what Bitcoin is? I actually met him buying a Bitcoin. And I bought a Bitcoin from him, and I walked away, and he texted me, are you single? And I was like, who is this young man after me? Anyway, so he moved to New York for this Bitcoin startup, and I was like, baby, I'm going with you, because I can work from anywhere, and I love New York. And I went to New York, and I hated it. Oh God, I hated living in New York. It was so awful. But I rented my condo in Chicago to be able to afford to do that. And so they're there till June, my tenants. So I went to New York, hated New York, then I broke up with him. So I was in New York, and I had this apartment I had to move out of in New York. And I was like, where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? I can't go back to Chicago till June. So I was like, I love DC. I've always loved DC. I'm gonna go to DC. So I moved there. And I didn't know anybody, but I just got in a U-Haul and I drove my little self to DC, and I love it. And so the problem is that I have a crush on Washington, DC, and I don't know if I'm gonna come back in June just yet. It's like I wanna hang out there a little bit more. But who's been to Washington? Do you guys take like the middle school trip? I just think the architecture is fabulous, and the people, everybody wears suits. That's why I'm dressed up this year, because you know, I'm all Washington. So this next poem, I've been writing a lot, and this next poem is about these homeless people. Washington is full of them. It's full of homeless people, and there's these one guys I see under this bridge all the time because it's on the way to yoga, and I am that chick. I'm like that 30-something white chick who like does yoga and eats sushi. I don't know. It just happened. I'm a cliche. I used to be cool. I did get a tattoo though, airplane, on my wrist. Okay, so this is called K Street and North Capitol. Homeless people must be out of poems. You don't hear them much anymore. When I was coming up, you couldn't swing a microphone stand without hitting a Lawrence Avenue bum with a misty-eyed, ham-fisted piece about injustice. Later, at the after party, poets would have sex with each other. I have never seen the men under the K Street Bridge awake. They are always sleeping, nestled in a murder of blankets. Their default is wet. Ropes of pigeon shit lash them to the lower deck. Their lanterns are dim, just Gatorade bottles with drips of fluorescent juice rolling around when a car comes through. Each pile of filth has a human center, just a cap or a hand peeking out. When the air is coldest, they burrow deeper, but it is never below ground. They must be dreaming in there. Yes, hours of roiling nightmares, but this cannot be all. These men have seen frisbee-catching dogs. They've smelled peppermint. On a clear day, they too have seen Lincoln on his mighty chair. Surely there is a mission in their mind with fresh, garlicky bread and butter and wine and better luck next time. The signs there always read vacancy, but it's like they don't even gotta look. I give back the grace of God, too expensive. It's enough for me to know I'm a lucky so-and-so, but how shall I keep my brothers? Christ, but I don't know. Stuck in all my own wet ways when the sun comes up over Washington. All right. Yeah. So, personality. Okay, so there's this show in Chicago. No, it's probably like the metal plate in my head. I don't have a metal plate in my head, not yet. So this is a book that I'm in, which is great. When you get published, it's like, so this is an anthology from Right Club. And Right Club is a show that started in Chicago several years ago. And the way it works is this. It's like Fight Club, you know? 2 writers get a topic a week in advance. And if the topic is 2 opposing ideas, for example, rain versus shine, black versus white, foreign versus native, angel versus demon. And so these 2 writers get assigned one of the sides. And they get 7 minutes a week later at a bar. It's kind of like Poetry Slam. They get 7 minutes on the clock to read their piece defending their idea. So writer number 1 is arguing for angels, and writer number 2 is like arguing for demons. But the thing is, that's the only prompt you get. Like, you get the prompt angel, and you write whatever you want. However you want to take that prompt, you write a 7-minute piece for that, and the other writer writes it could be a poem, it could be an essay, it can't be a song, it has to be a written thing, but they're demon. They represent, you know, writing about demon, angel versus demon. And it's hard. Like, these are the best writers in Chicago, and now the show's in San Francisco and Atlanta. It's all over. It's like caught fire. And so 2 writers go head to head, and it's really hard. And the audience judges you like a slam by applause. So I've been in the show twice. My first bout, I lost bad. The second bout, I won hard. And I killed him. Oh, it was like one of my best moments in life. So I'm going to read you the essay, so it's not very long, because it's timed and you don't have very long. But my bout was foreign versus native, and I got foreign, and I crushed my opponent. She's a friend of mine, so I was like, sorry, Chloe. Life is hard. So anyway, okay. Foreign. You can't choose your birthplace, your native land, but you can choose the F out of where you want to go. You're from Modesto. You live in Rome. You're from a family that traffics in burnt ham and thinly veiled hate. You practice patience and serve fennel most delicious. You didn't learn that at home, did you? No, you did not. A foreign agent was introduced at some point, a stranger, a new strand, a foreign idea that went viral in your native, previously static brain. Often this sort of thing comes from a book, and we all know a book opens like a door. Foreign comes from the Latin foras, which means door. What can possibly be accomplished if you don't open the door? A closed room? What air comes in? What breath? None can come. Perhaps more depressing, none can leave. You stay in one place, you start collecting dust and precious moments figurines. Just ask my estranged, senile grandmother, presently mellowing her Texas nursing home. I'm glad she's in her native city of Houston. That's surely a comfort to her, being there among familiar faded church bulletins and familiar beige walls. Of course, if she had gone to Dubai instead of marrying the first man who gave her a moment's notice back home, she might not be gumming bland pureed carrots right now. Oh, it might be carrots. She's 90, it's gonna be carrots. But it might be curried carrots. And if she had eaten more curry over the course of her life, it might have aided her digestion, which curry is supposed to do. And this would have ultimately benefited her DNA, which would have been passed on to my dad, who would have likely married a different woman than my mother if he had gone to Cordoba instead of also staying in his native city of Houston. And I'm sure I'd be a different Mary, of course, maybe with more almond-shaped eyes, tooling around muddy side roads and a beat-up gremlin looking for work. But I'd probably be singing to a quality, new-ish American pop song, and I would likely not have spent 4 days in the hospital last week, as I did, due to complications from a disease I think I got from my grandmother. Undoubtedly, I'd have a different set of problems. We are all unhappy in our own ways. But to be rid of the pathogen that developed naturally, hereditarily, natively, if you will, in my abdomen, well, I'd roll those dice in a banana leaf minute. No, you can't choose who your natives are or where you're from, but you can choose the foreign places you go. And if you are a serious person, aware that you are here for one shot and one shot only, with no do-over, no eternal party to look forward to if you're nice, if you are soaked in the reality of this lovely and shatteringly painful moment that you have chanced upon, entirely owing to a foreign object entering your mom's, word to your mom, if you are alive, good people, you want to go, not just go on. You want to go to Perth or Venus or dinner at the new place, and you want to go now and go away and go farther and go big and keep going, keep going. I know, it's freaking hard. It's so hard. And then what do we do when we can't take it anymore? We get out. We throw him or her or it out. We welcome the foras, the door hitting us in the house. We wait for it. We escape to a foreign place, click through to a plane ticket purchase. We pack a change of panties, a phrase book, or nothing, or a noose, or a set of shiny new razor blades, and we leave. Oh yes, we have all kinds of ways to go, because what is foreign? While it is uncertain, indeed, and risky, of course, and frightening, yes, what is foreign is better than what we know. We do know that. The foreign is better than the leftovers in the fridge that never get any fresher, better than the preset radio station that insists on being the same gesture away from the steering wheel day in and day out. It is better than the same old cereal flakes, the same worn satchel, the same old you, regardless of your profile pic. What's unknown is certain to be better than the objects in our native habitat. The chair. Familiarity breeds contempt. Contempt, I hate you. I hate you, you chair, you bore, you constant cracked milk pitcher with the flower motif on the side, you moth-eaten closet of dead-eyed dresses staring at me again, you standard, typical native beasts. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm leaving and I'm not coming back with the same eyes. It would be impossible once I step out and meet the foreign skies and the rearranged figurines on the street. I cannot come back the same, which is to say I will never come back, which is the goal. A new version of ourselves, that is what we want, what we eternally want. It's what we want when we buy. It's what we want when we drink. It's what we want when we answer the ad for used furniture or new love, however used up it may reveal itself to be. Our desire to be foreign to our very selves is in every haircut, every diet change, every catalog course we select, every new job we take, every current endeavor for business or pleasure, every date, every first kiss in every bar in Chicago tonight, every night of the same old 7-day week. We want what we don't have. It is the drive of our species, from the C-average sorority pledge to the lettered scientist. Make no mistake, the latter is in the lab as we speak, introducing a foreign agent into a dish. Tomorrow is a brand new day, they exclaim cheerily. Why such confidence? Because tomorrow is foreign. You just don't know. What hurt on Monday? Well, it might not be so bad on Tuesday, honey. You just don't know. So get up, sunshine. Carpe tomorrow, mofo. Tomorrow is different, foreign to us and fresh. Forget the congenital native today and its attendant malaise. Who needs it? Nobody. Nobody needs it. I am proud to meet every dawn a foreigner. It's tomorrow that we live for, the foreign nature of it, the strange that gets us out of our creaking, musty, painfully native beds. Thanks. I mean, I killed it. Right. So I have these for sale. They're $10, and I will sign them for you. And there are great essays in here, and it's an honor to be included in this anthology. It's a really good one. Like, all the essays are amazing. And the bouts in here, by the way, are native versus foreign, angels versus demons, roots versus branches, leave versus return, work versus play, fantasy versus reality, prose versus poetry, full, empty, top, bottom, smooth, rough, love, lust, Santa, Jesus. And that's the one that ends the book. So I don't have too many, so when you come up to get your card, and that's the thing, so there's these cards, and I made them for you, and I stitched them to fabric. Some of them don't have fabric on them, but most of them do, because I make quilts, and the time goes so fast. So I make quilts, and I have all this extra fabric, and so I made, man, I spent a long time on these, but I loved it, but they have, it's not rules for life, but it's like what I really believe. And I thought to myself, if I died and I never got to come to Fremd again, what would I tell you all? Like, what would I say to you? And so you'll have to get a card to find out. But I tried to make 1,000 of them, and I stitched fabric to the back. I didn't get totally done. So some people don't want one, and that's fine. But if you do, there you go. And you can come get a book. And I also have another book. This is the quilt book. And there's a lot of writing in here, and I know many of you are like, I don't care about quilts. But some of you might, and this is very beautiful. It's full of lots of beautiful pictures, and I made 12 quilts that got published in this book. And I'm very proud of it. It was extremely difficult. Like writing a book is really hard. If you see a book, you should, praise, give honor to that author, whether it's fiction or whatever. I'm not asking for honor, but I'm just saying it's tremendous. It's a tremendous amount of work to do a book, and this is just like a drop in the ocean, and it's not, it's not Mark Twain or anything. But if any of you ever want to write a book someday, buckle up, because it's, it's like a labor of love. So anyway, these are 20. I know that's kind of a lot, but usually they're 23 or 24, so it's a discount. I know it's kind of a lot, but I had to bring some. Okay. So, I knew this would happen. My hair's at that point where it's like, ladies, you'll know, it's not long enough to tuck behind my ears, but it's getting in my eyes. All right. I call it the heart swell. The heart swell is what happens to you when your crush walks into the room and you see her, and your heart feels like it's puffing up and caving in at the same time. I experience the heart swell when I hear Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, Ode to Joy. It's like, it takes me away, and my heart is beating so fast, and it's beautiful. The heart swell is sort of painful, but it's also really lovely, and it doesn't happen very often. A few years ago, a woman named Sam Rindy was arrested because she kissed a painting. She kissed a painting with red lipstick. She went up to this painting and she kissed it. She was in a museum in France, and she saw this painting by Cy Twombly, which, by the way, he's a minimalist kind of guy, so there was all this space on the painting. And she went up to that painting and she kissed it, leaving a red stain in the middle of all that white. When Sam was arrested, because she was arrested quickly, she said, "This mark is a testament to the beauty and the power of art. I have no regrets." And it's not good to kiss a painting, but I know, girl, I know. You had the heart swell, didn't you? You were standing in that museum, and no one was around, and that painting took you. It took you. You were dazzled by the ability of good art to transcend what is elemental in you. You were in total shock, total amazement at the ability of a human being to create something of wonder. You sank and flew at the same time, and you had to do it. And so you rushed and you kissed, or you walked slowly and you kissed, and you were undone in that terrible, terrifying heart swell moment. moved into the audience. So thanks for the lights. That was great. I moved into the audience as I was saying the piece, and then I like attacked the person, and they were always like, ah! You know, like ah! And it was like, you know, it sort of ruined the moment. I didn't ruin the moment, but it was rough. So this year I was like, because I didn't do it last year, I can't do it every year, but I decided to stalk you
Like a leopard.
All right, we got to do an Insti poem. I got to do that, where I write a poem on stage for a person as it's happening. So, one thing I need is a pen, because I brought a pencil, and that's not going to work on the paper.
Okay, so I need 2 volunteers.
2 volunteers. Yes, you in the black. Yes, right there. Yes, you. Okay, so one person's going to interview, and one person's going to get a poem written for them. So I see you in the brown shirt. So come on down, 2 dudes. Apparently, this man needs a poem. All right. What's your name? Graham. Nice to meet you here. And your name? Okay, guys. So come to the mic. And let's see here. I'm going to. Aha. So, Kelvin, what you're going to do is you're going to interview Graham, and for just a few minutes, and you know, what's your name? What do you like to do? What do you like to study in school? Where would you go on your last vacation? Just make up interesting things to ask him and the questions. Okay, and I'll let you know when I'm done. Okay. All right. Commence.
Hi, Greg. Hi, Kelvin. So, what would your favorite activity to do outside of school? Well, that's a good question. I would have to say that my favorite thing to do outside of school would probably be extracurricular activities, hanging out with friends. Reading is always good.
What kind of extracurricular activities did you say?
Well, I used to do speech team, but that unfortunately is not in the docket since I don't have time. I do theater stuff, Boy Scouts, that kind of thing.
Do you have any brothers, sisters?
I have a twin brother.
That's so, wow. What? Oh my God, continue. Sorry.
Are you into music at all?
Yes,
What kind of music do you like?
I like a lot of stuff actually, mostly show tunes and oldies though.
That's cool. Are there any TV shows or movies that you really enjoy?
Walking Dead is good. Also, I watch West Wing on Netflix with my family. That's always good.
What was that? The one before? What did you say?
Walking Dead?
Walking.
In school, what is your favorite subject?
English or history?
Do you play an instrument?
Used to play violin.
What is your favorite time of the day?
This is the last question because I got it. Please.
Lunch.
All right, Graham. Okay. God, I hope you like it. You can have it. Let's see. It's going to be called lunch, of course. Graham is a cracker. Let's be honest. Let's be clear. But that don't mean he's sweet, sugary. He's got a dark side, inside, twin sides. He's up in music, up in notes, and after dark, The Walking Dead. Dark perhaps, but with a history of light, lighting violins at lunch. Oh, there's quotes on the back. I didn't even know. Kelvin, Graham, great. All right, so we have 10 minutes. Oh, God. All right, so I'm going to read another poem. And this one, so I'm not into the Bible. That's not my thing. But it's a great book, right? I mean, it's literature. Some people would say it's the Word of God. That's fine. You can believe whatever you want, and you should. But I'm more into Shakespeare in terms of like, you know, stuff that just speaks to me in that old way. But there's a book in the Bible that's really, really good. Ecclesiastes. Okay, Ecclesiastes is like, it's this king, and he's standing like, I don't know, at his window or something, and he is so depressed. He's like, what's the point? What's the point of anything? I believe ashes to ashes, dust to dust comes from Ecclesiastes. A lot of sayings that come from Ecclesiastes. I'm forgetting all of them right now, but like there's just so much in there, and he is really bummed out, and he's having like an existential crisis, and I love that, because I have an existential crisis all the time. I mean, I think about death every single day, multiple times a day, because we're going to die. Oh my God! And sometimes when I wake up, when I'm on a plane and I wake up, that's when I have like the opposite of the heart swell. It's like total panic. I suppose it's not an anxiety attack because I don't freak out and like puke, but I think about like, I'm gonna die. Like this is going to end. So anyway, I have sort of an ongoing existential crisis, which is good for a poet. Heartbreak and that is great. But so you know what allusion is? A-L-L-U-S-I-O-N. Allusion is like if you allude to something, you're sort of referencing something else. So in poetry, allusion is referencing something else. You're making a connection from one, usually a piece of literature, to another. So I was reading Ecclesiastes, and that's a really good place to start, by the way, if you're stuck with writing. Find a piece of writing that you love, a Shakespeare sonnet, or it could be, you know, anything, a Dorothy Parker poem, for example. Anything, and you can allude to it, sort of make a response to it. So this poem is about a guy, as usual, but it alludes to Ecclesiastes. It's got all these allusions to Ecclesiastes. So it's a really good read, the Ecclesiastes, so read it. It's sort of different from the rest of the Bible. It's like very different. Old Testament. All right, it's called Folly for Joe. These are the days of beauty, the clavicle days. Rose hips rouged under cashmere, dotted stockings nipped twice by straps. Skin is the plains, and the wind rolls round the earth, first to the south, then due north, ever returning on its course. My boudoir is a jewel box, my brain conceives of jewels. What shall we do with all of this carbon, Solomon? What shall be done with excesses of gold? You have looked upon the work your hands hath wrought, and on the labor you labored to do. Behold, the only real prophet under the sun was a hot one, waiting to sin in fresh linen with you. All is vexation. Mistresses, like wives, have shelf lives, same as husbands, same as lovers, same as children who refuse to freeze. What shall we do with all of these children, Solomon? What shall be done with excesses of gold? Hold them and let them go as they came, impossible, opposite what it took to invoke them. Heavy is the iron I cannot absorb. Vanity. This is vanity. Two fools and a bottle of wine, with time to kill and to be killed in time. Take me down, Solomon, into the mine. Okay. So it's sort of like, what's that about? I mean, it's a little more abstract, I know. But there's another allusion at the very end. You know Solomon's mines? Different Solomon than the Solomon in the Bible, which is a different, anyway. It's deep, is what I'm saying. It's deep. All right, so now, this is on the t-shirt, okay? I wrote this world down on paper, and it is all that I have. I've kept a record of the blows to the head, the words that you said, and the paper lights I have seen in the sky that fell to the earth and died. This is not solid ground. It trembles and shakes when you step down. And if you've ever been to a paper world, you know what I mean. When you walk around, you fall. Fall onto paper knees that buckle beneath the weight of your legs. Paper necks snap beneath heavy paper heads. Oh, snap. Paper clocks tell incorrect time, paper skyscrapers scrape the skyline, and all the city's citizens want what paper needs: strength, strong stock, safety from water, but it all comes pre-tattered, bleeding, confetti-sized drops of pale ink that stain the paper's streets. And I wonder, how do you keep a smile on a cutout face when at any moment fire will ravage Earth and space, reduce your planet to ash? If you bump elbows with a cigarette or a smoking campfire log, get chewed on by a dog that thinks you're the news, I have long since stopped getting the blues. There is no color here, only the absence of light. That's what white is. That's what white is, right? But if you are a paper doll too, I shall know you on sight. And if you are with me, then come with me tonight. I will match up our bodies by the tears in our arms. We will form paper barricades against matchstick harm. I will make paper love to you for as long as I can in this shreddable world. I will be your paper girl. And if rage is worth nothing on paper, then I have nothing left to say. But if the greatest words of our ancestors have been saved to this day on paper, hanging for dear life to paper, for God knows the reasons why, I will write this on paper and send it up to the wrathful 2D God in the sky. Make me a lover to burn with, and I will be the one who burns it all. I will do your bidding with a smile, but before the cinder sparks and the great fall and the fire starts, give me one day, and I will make a paper boat and sail with him on the sea, and after that, I will gladly burn down the whole paper world as long as he burns with me. We have 4 minutes, and I want to give you time, if you want, to come up and get a card. So I'm going to take 2 questions, and then I'm going to be done so that you're not going to be late to your next thing, because I know they get real ornery at Writers Week. They're like, you need to be in my class of writers, you know. So any questions, like about anything, about a poem, or yes? If I could live in one city I haven't lived in the States? Anywhere? Paris, man. Gotta be Paris. I don't speak French, but I would learn. Anybody else? Yes, yes. Bill Withers? Oh man, I totally know Bill Withers, but I don't know if I could give you a title. But I've seen a documentary about him, and he's amazing. And actually, Fiona Apple's, I almost said a friend of mine. She's a favorite of mine, and she loves Bill Withers, and so sometimes she plays covers and things. Good question. Lame answer. All right, Fremd, it's an honor every single year, so please have a great day and enjoy Writers Week.